In this feature we tell the story of Apple. We start with the early days, the tale of how Apple was founded, moving on through the Apple I, to the Apple II, the launch of the Macintosh and the revolution in the DTP industry, to the tech industry behemoth that we know and love today. So sit back as we take a stroll down memory lane. Why not brush up on what really happened before you go and watch the Steve Jobs movie, with its interesting interpretations of several important events in the company's history. On the 1st of April 1976 Apple was founded, making the company 41 years old as of the 1st of April 2017. Here's a historical breakdown of the company. The history of Apple. Our Apple History feature includes information about the foundation of Apple and the years that followed. We look at how Jobs met Woz and why Apple was named Apple. The Apple I and the debut of the Apple II. Apple's visit to Xerox, and the one-button mouse. The story of the Lisa versus the Macintosh. Apple's 1984 advert, directed by Ridley Scott. The Macintosh and the DTP revolution. Read more. The Mac's birthday. Foundation of Apple. The history of everyone's favorite startup is a tech fairy tale of one garage, three friends and very humble beginnings. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. The two Steves, Jobs and Wozniak, may have been Apple's most visible founders, but were it not for their friend Ronald Wayne there might be no iPhone, iPad or iMac today. Jobs convinced him to take 10% of the company stock and act as an arbiter should he and Woz come to blows, but Wayne backed out 12 days later, selling for just $500 a holding that would have been worth $72 billion 40 years later. How Jobs met Woz. Jobs and Woz, that's Steve Wozniak, were introduced in 1971 by a mutual friend, Bill Fernandez, who went on to become one of Apple's earliest employees. The two Steves got along thanks to their shared love of technology and pranks. Jobs and Wozniak joined forces, initially coming up with pranks such as rigging up a painting of a hand showing the middle finger to be displayed during a graduation ceremony at Jobs' school, and a call to the Vatican that nearly got him access to the Pope. The two friends were also using their technology know-how to build blue boxes that made it possible to make long-distance phone calls for free. Jobs and Wozniak worked together on the Atari arcade game Breakout while Jobs was working at Atari and Wozniak was working at HP. Jobs had roped Woz into helping him reduce the number of logic chips required. Jobs managed to get a good bonus for the work on Breakout, of which he gave a small amount to Woz. The first Apple computer. The two Steves attended the Homebrew Computer Club together, a computer hobbyist group that gathered in California's Menlo Park from 1975. Woz had seen his first MIT's Altair there, which today looks like little more than a box of lights and circuit boards, and was inspired by MIT's build-it-yourself approach. The Altair came as a kit to make something simpler for the rest of us. This philosophy continues to shine through in Apple's products today. So Woz produced the first computer with a typewriter-like keyboard and the ability to connect to a regular TV as a screen. Later christened the Apple I, it was the archetype of every modern computer. But Wozniak wasn't trying to change the world with what he'd produced, he just wanted to show off how much he'd managed to do with so few resources. Speaking to NPR, National Public Radio, in 2006, Woz explained that, when I built this Apple I, the first computer to say a computer should look like a typewriter. It should have a keyboard, and the output device is a TV set. It wasn't really to show the world that, here is the direction it should go in. It was to really show the people around me, to boast, to be clever, to get acknowledgement for having designed a very inexpensive computer.